Hey, yo, yo.
Back hero.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters hero. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gon' dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Sentakyu. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.
Been a minute.
It has been a minute. Oh, you already pushed it?
I did.
Oh, it's been a minute. But we're back. We're back in there like swimwear. Better get some skincare. You don't want to be having thin hair with a... No, I'm just kidding. Nah, that commercial with what's that, Andy Samberg rapping with Snoop Dogg. Oh, I love that commercial. What does it say? Strong like a tongue squeeze. You'll say, "Oh, geez," but I make your lawn freeze. Was that good? No.
Yeah, no. You know what I'm saying?
It was incredible.
No.
Bleed bad. Oh. At the end, he's like, man,
Let's record.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't recording.
Oh.
Now it is again.
So did any of that get recorded?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, we had a bunch of jokes about.
We had some funny stuff.
Yeah, about white guys being awkward, and
Yep.
it looks like some of it record. Oh, you know, I might have pressed space again and fucked everything up.
No.
So I can probably just splice it in at the beginning.
Yeah, there we go.
All is well.
I'll just do that.
Boom.
But yeah, man, my fridge went out. Random. It's just, adult.
Yeah.
Good old nothing like a good old adult curveball when you're already down.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was annoying dealing with that whole situation.
Adult curveball. Yeah, man. So I also had family in town for better reasons than a refrigerator. That's always good. And we always have to deal with adult stuff. Like I had a whole bunch of work things.
Yeah.
It's like you think that when you become an adult, like, hey, I don't have to do homework anymore because I'm out of school. Like, nope, you got a job.
It's just the homework costs money now.
Yeah. Oh, dog.
It's just
sucks.
the homework costs money now.
That is trash.
Super whack.
Wow.
But
I hadn't thought about it like that. Now I hate like everything.
That's like, or imagine being in high school and you have to take a homework packet home over the weekend, but as you're accepting your homework packet from your teacher, you have to hand them $20.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it actually costs you money.
It actually costs you money
to turn in your homework assignment.
Spend your time doing this.
Yeah. So
fuck
off.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Stupid. Capitalism. Woo.
All right.
But yeah, man. What are you into currently, my friend?
It's some cool shit happening
out right now.
Yeah,
it is,
bro. Cyberpunk Edge
I was so literally after you talked about what you're into, I was gonna ask you if you've seen that. I have not seen it, but I've heard nothing but really good stuff about it.
Stellar review, bro. And this is, bro. I'm about to say a thing that's gonna sound crazy. It's for like a small season, like 10 episode run, like not a, multiple volumes, like most shonen anime. This is the best 10 episode run of anime that I've seen in probably a decade. A decade.
Wow.
It is fucking phenomenal, bro. It's amazing, dog.
That sounds like I have to check it out for sure.
Even if you don't care about Cyberpunk, the game, it just looks cool. Like, it has a story, bro. Like, the story is hella interesting. The main character is likable. It's Trigger, so like the cats that did Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill.
I love that animation style.
Animation is crazy.
Is it in that same look?
Yeah,
That's
but it's like legitimate like 90s ultra violence though. Like niggas be getting their heads blown clean off. Not more than just blown off, like blown into bits, like that kind of
blown into cumin.
Right, blown into minced meat. God damn it, bro! There's this one
That's
scene.
Good. Yeah, good.
Where this guy has a big ass gun and he like he shoots somebody point blank range. Then there's just like a stylized blood explosion. And it's just like a mushroom cloud of like human remains. It's crazy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah. No, it's wild. It's wild. But like, and if you are a fan of the game, it's completely based off of the same world and the same aesthetic that was presented in the game. Like, their characters that, it's like slightly a prequel. It's not, there's no main characters that are in both.
Okay.
Except for one. I mean, so like the main boss is a character in the game. But man, like, I was floored. I expected to be interested in it, but I did not expect it to be great. Like, so just to put it in perspective, it's by leaps and bounds the best Netflix anime ever.
Oh,
it's like Baki shitting on Baki, and Baki's cold.
But I don't like the way Baki's animated.
It's no weird half 3D nonsense.
Okay,
no.
That's good.
It's better than Ashura or whatever that Baki ripoff is.
So, Keegan Ashura.
Yeah.
That they do the 3D thing even worse.
There's no Netflix anime that comes even close.
This could be a good thing because maybe since this is being received so well by the anime community, which it definitely is from what I've seen, maybe this could cause them to kind of go off the trail of, because they do that 3D thing for a lot of stuff now.
Yep.
Because I think it's probably faster and cheaper.
That's 100% why they do it, because it's cheaper.
But maybe seeing this show be received so well could put it into that.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Yep. And the main character is not black, but he's like his name is David Martinez, like it's straight up like brown person.
That's,
or is it Rodriguez? He's
dope.
clearly a brown person.
Right.
He looks cool. All of the character designs are cool as hell. Like
love it.
They throw you in the world, like they use all of the Night City lingo and slang. It's just, bro, that shit is amazing.
I'm interested.
Super
Sounds
good.
fantastic. I think I might have to check it out.
Also, went to see The Woman King last night.
Yo, that's out.
Yes.
You know what? I've been kind of living under a rock the last couple of weeks.
That movie is everything that I expected it to be, and like way better.
Bro,
way more.
So I have very high expectations for this movie. I didn't know it was out. I'm gonna go see it this week for sure.
Yes, I saw it.
So it was good.
It was fantastic. It it was one of those things where like it could have
diversity agenda. Why are they all black?
So what? I don't care if it's in Africa. I don't want to watch it.
Woke.
Right.
When you go woke, you go broke.
Bro, this movie about to make so much money, bro. I guarantee.
I'm about to go see this movie so many times. I'm about to go see this and The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
At least 30 times.
Let me
even when my daughter gets sick of seeing The Little Mermaid, nope. We going to see it again.
Yep, that's what I thought, bro. The Woman King is #1 box office movie.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like shitting on everybody.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But look, it was one of those movies where it was like, man, if it has good action, is the plot gonna be disappointing? If the plot's good, is the action gonna be disappointing? Like, is there gonna be bad acting?
Are we gonna get both?
Is there gonna be some sort of like place where they let us down? Like, bro,
Yes.
everything was fantastic.
Oh, this
The acting, obviously, John Boyega he wasn't a main character, but he had a nice role. Viola Davis was incredible. Lashana Lynch, who plays who plays the alternate version of Miss Marvel, and the friend in the Miss Marvel,
the Monica Blair's mom, I think.
Monica Rambeau's mom.
Monica Rambeau's mom. Yeah, what did I say, Monica
Blair? Shout out to Detroit,
Blair.
Monica Blair.
Shout out to the Detroit legendary singer Monica Blair. Same thing,
right? She's actually a superhero. She actually goes by Miss Marvel.
right?
She was probably my favorite character. She was awesome. And then there's like you don't really see her much in the trailer, but there's like a kind of a main character other than Viola Davis, like a younger warrior. She's really good. Everybody was just fantastic. But bro, the thing that caught me off guard the most was it could, if there was one complaint I had, I wish there was maybe just a little bit more, one or two more like battle scenes, because a lot of the movie was like a training kind of thing, right? Like taking somebody through the ranks. But the fight scenes that were there, like, not only were they good, I was stunned. The quality of the fight scenes were shitting on every MCU movie with the exception of Shang-Chi and maybe like Winter Soldier. It was, bro, I'm telling you, dog, these chicks was getting the fuck down, bro. Like,
I want to see this movie
tech,
so bad.
dog. Tech. Like, everybody had tech, bro. Like,
okay.
Like, to put it in perspective, like female-led action movies like Wonder Woman or Black Widow, the fight scenes are absolutely shitting on both of those movies. Both of them. Not even close, dog. Sword play, staff play, some like groundwork, jujitsu, a couple of hurricanranas here and there.
The Samurai girl was in it too from the internet. Do you know what I'm talking about?
She might have been an extra.
I know she was did something for the movie.
I don't think she wasn't like I don't know if
she might have just been on the stunt team or something.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I know she was involved.
Well, clearly all of the chicks that was in there were like martial artists. God damn it.
Love to see it.
And this wasn't no like, hey, we're gonna approximate some, hey, tough, big, strong women swinging. No, they was big, strong women. They was also getting down. With
How'd they get so strong? I want to see their workout routine.
Oh, cool.
Mary Sue, but black.
The movie shows you how they got so strong by fucking practicing for their whole lives.
Love it, man. That's what's up.
That movie was cold, bro.
I
was
really
so
want to
good.
see this.
I'm telling you, bro, the fight scenes shocked me at how good they were. It was like a martial arts movie, damn near. Like,
bro, you're about to make me.
The level of, because like, you know how there's movies that have battles. Like, you look at Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, where there's battles and there's sword fights, but it's kind of like movie tech, movie martial arts. No,
there's some. I agree, but there are some guys with some tech in Lord of the, like Aragorn he's got some real tech.
But in general, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, it's mostly like cinematography, cinematic
big
battles.
giant battles and
nah, bro. This was smaller scale. It was like, there was the camera focused in on the fights, and it was the care and the detail that they put into the fight cinematography was akin to a martial arts movie. It was like that.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see how good the fights were.
Let's go.
That's what I've been into.
Love it. I was talking about, I don't know if I talked about it last time, but I haven't seen Ghost in the Shell in a really long time. Not the original anime one that we all know and love from the 90s. I haven't seen it since college. I used to watch that movie all the time when I was a kid, I'm sure, as most 90s kids did. We always talk about the blockbuster Japanimation section, you know what I'm saying? And I used to always want to rent that movie, but I remember my mom would like, because the cover, remember it kind of showed her looking kind of naked on the front.
Yep. That was a tough one.
That was a tough one to be able to rent when you were a kid.
Whoops.
Facts. And then, but yeah, man, just the, so, you know, when I was a kid, I was here for, you know, kind of naked, kind of not, Motoko Kusanagi, you know what I'm saying? But man, like, first of all, that 90s animation is just untouchable to me. But this movie, man, like, just like watching it for the first time since college and actually understanding it now and seeing all the bigger, you know, themes and plots that were, you know, present in the film, it's so good. And I just like watching it with that new, you know, with that new wisdom and able to understand it and, you know, a different perspective. And like, it's such a good movie. And it's really essentially just it's a cyberpunk philosophy film, you know what I mean? With action, you know what I mean? Like, she was straight up depressed, you know what I'm saying? And not understanding if her ghost was like really her or not, you know, with everything going on and her trying to really figure out
her ghost was actually Scarlett Johansson the whole time.
But yeah, man, just a really dope movie, classic. Love it even more now that I understand it. So I've just been watching that. That's kind of what I've been into. I'm anticipating some of these games, man, that I've been seeing. There are some very, very, very dope games coming out, kind of reviving the FGC a little bit. We got another Tekken joint coming. We got another Street Fighter game coming that I've been obsessing over.
Yeah, we were just talking about it before we came on air. They turned it into 2K, and I'm kind of here for it. With the creative character, you can run around the city and get into scraps. You
my
buy
favorite
clothes from the clothing store.
My favorite joke about 2K is that men create their dream man on 2K. And now
another we had that Chuck E. Cheese joke. It's kind of 2K now. The child casino.
Child casino. Come eat some rat pizza at my child casino.
And also where you can create your dream man.
Hey, I will definitely be creating my dream man on Street Fighter.
Right.
Let's go. I can't wait to create a fighter on there. That's fire. But yeah, man, quick wrestling recap. We all know the nonsense that happened in AEW, man, with the backstage incident. But, you know, since then, AEW is done doing a title. They were doing the tournament, Tournament of Champions. And, you know, there were some people that I felt should have been in it. But obviously, it was Tournament of Champions, so they're only including guys that have.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, they're only including guys that have been champions because I really felt like Eddie Kingston should have been a part of it, but obviously he hasn't been a champion. So, but there is one. How is Miro not in this tournament?
Yeah, he was the
TNT
champion.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I felt like he should have been in there. But Tony Khan loves Sammy Guevara. But yeah, man, so, you know, they're doing the tournament. It was some dope matches. Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Page was fire. Then Danielson had a banger. I cannot stand giving this guy props. If he had a banger with Chris Jericho, you know, on Dynamite last week, that match was really, really good. I thought it was way better than their match at All Out. So, I mean, obviously, the finals is Danielson and Moxley. I'm super excited for that. I mean, Danielson's got to win this, right? And like,
absolutely.
I think right now, AEW really needs some stability. I would say that I'm a little worried about the whole MJF situation because I felt like this was supposed to be his time, but now, you know, it's whoever wins the belt now. Are we just gonna hot potato it to MJF, or are we gonna actually? I think if Danielson wins, I would say that he needs to have. Yeah, he really needs to have like a workhorse. You know what I'm saying? Title run. Like even if it's give me like 6 months of him just defending this belt like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of.
So you just reminded me, my bad, bro. But I had a weird ass dream, even as recently as I think last night, where like And I can't remember the details, but I just remember MJF like he was like holding us hostage.
Oh my god!
And it just reminds me of like what AEW has been going through recently. It's just like, bro, what the fuck is happening right now? MJF holding the entire company hostage.
Oh my god! No, that's so true. Just what really, they're going through just a lot of nonsense right now, and like I said, they need stability. CM Punk has won the title twice and had to give it up instantly. You know what I mean? So I really would love to see Danielson win. Then we got I would assume that the Acclaimed is going to beat, Swerve and Our Glory for the tag titles. They, I thought, I was at All Out, and I think that they missed a chance for an audible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were so over, the crowd wanted them to win so bad, and they lost. So
yeah, I agree. They're good.
So they might
very entertaining.
They might grab those belts. I think that so Malachi Black he's out. He's taken a leave of absence. I don't know if he's gonna come back or not.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. I love him, and it's just. But I figured I'm sure he's not going to be the only one. I mean, AEW kind of instantly got themselves into that WWE problem where they just have too much talent, and you know what I'm saying. And they're signing these guys, and they're promising them things, and oh yeah, man, you'll be champ within 6 months. Like that's the plan for you. And then it's like, oh well, we just signed 10 more people, so now you get, you know what I mean, get pushed to the back, and it's like, I think Malachi Black is the best, maybe the best example of AEW's like booking problem, because bro, his debut was fire, 10 out of 10. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything he was doing with Cody and all this stuff, then like gets the House of Black, and his entrance is just incredible, everything. And then they just stopped using him. You know what I'm saying? Like. So I think he's a really good example of that. I think he definitely could have been a champ, could have been world champ, if not just TNT champ.
No doubt.
So
I
hope
I'm sad that he was not able to.
Yeah, and then it's like we're gonna keep seeing House of Black too, and they're not gonna have him. So you know what I mean? I really wonder what's gonna happen with all this stuff. So we'll see. I told you before, the perfect replacement to me would be Darby Allin, and then if he came back, they could maybe have a thing, over who's gonna lead the House of Black. But I don't know. WWE, I can't believe I'm saying this. Fire. I mean, Triple H came back and did what he said he was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And it's been good, man. We got bringing all his babies back. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Gargano's back on TV. Johnny Wrestling. So I'm excited to see what they do. I don't know what's gonna happen with. I feel like I think the plan is for them to do The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah, bro, they've been building up for that for like 2 years.
So I feel like that's what's gonna happen. But Bloodline's still going strong.
But wait. So how does Logan Paul fit into this? Because
I mean, Logan Paul Logan Paul, YouTube guy, is getting a title shot at Roman Reigns at the Crown Jewel thing. I don't know how I feel about that, but whatever.
I mean, the fact that it's at Crown Jewel,
and I'll say,
everything.
I think the thing about the Paul brothers, I will say this: are they just a prime example of just kind of being white and just kind of being able to do whatever you want? Absolutely. But I will say this: when they do get into said field that they're doing, they do immerse themselves entirely into it. And you know what I mean? Like, cannot stand Jake Paul, but he trains like a professional boxer. You know what I mean? He puts the work in. Same with Logan Paul. He's doing the wrestling thing, and he's took to it 100%, doing the training, doing the work. You know what I mean? So, it's whatever. But
It's crazy. I'm doing research in the background here, and the stunt coordinator for the Woman King was also in. She's done a lot of stunt work for Marvel, Dora Milaje, and all of that.
Fire.
And she also apparently played college basketball and is in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Like, this woman is the GOAT at everything.
Oh man, you're gonna have to tell me her name so I can look her up.
No, she's clearly the shit. So
Fire, love it. Black woman.
Yep.
But yeah, man, that's quick wrestling. Oh man, one more wrestling thing. My favorite wrestling podcast, the WrestleCast Power Hour, is back. Shout out to Eric, aka Handsome Bane. Shout out to B-Kellen. Shout out to Mark Robb. Bro, it is the funniest wrestling podcast ever. Bro, Eric did this thing where he did a mixtape advertisement for Hulk Hogan, and he was rapping over songs. And I'm gonna have to show it to you because this is literally the funniest thing I've ever heard on a podcast. Like, I was in tears when I listened to it. It's so funny. It's ridiculous. So shout out to WrestleCast Power. But let's go, man. Let's do this first. We got a quick round of Do You Care before we get into so the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're gonna talk a lot about some fantasy stuff, just fantasy genre and some of the fantasy pieces of work that we're currently enjoying right now.
Yeah.
But real quick round of Do You Care. We had D23 I think a couple weeks ago. Some things going on in wrestling. Let's go, man. It's time for Do You Care. All right. CM Punk.
That wasn't practice either.
We just did it the same cadence and everything. That was nice. Chemistry. Is it that Professor Xavier?
Right. My mind.
That blood curdling scream he always lets out. CM Punk possibly fired.
Man, the better question is, do I care about CM Punk?
No.
No, I don't.
Me neither. I think he's just worn his welcome out in pro wrestling in general. And it's like, I'm always like, this dude has a heart of gold, but he's kind of a jerk.
Right, like,
and
he's an asshole.
And it's like, can you have a heart of gold and be a jerk at the same time?
And it's crazy because he always tries to play a baby face, at least recently. But you got Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, who is actually a great person in real life and who plays a heel.
And who's a better wrestler.
By leaps and bounds.
And I don't know. I don't want to really waste a lot of time talking about him, but it's just, I don't know, man. I just think, I have a homie who's a wrestling insider, kind of does all the dirt sheet reporting and stuff, and he was telling me it's really up to Tony Khan. Like, there's no scenario where Punk and the Elite come back. They do not want to be there if he's still there. So we'll see. Here we go again. Sorry, more wrestling related. Pac is the first double champion in AEW history. That's my guy. Got 2 belts at one time.
Yeah,
do you care?
Absolutely.
Boom. I care. I love Pac. I told you, I think the only reason that they have not like really just pushed him like crazy is because he doesn't live in the United States,
right,
and he like won't move here. So shout out to Pac. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. Do you care? It's coming up. We're gonna get some Kane stuff.
I didn't care at first, but now that I know where we're going in the next phase, I definitely care.
Boom. I agree. I did not care at first, but I think now there's so much more coming out information-wise about the movie and what could possibly happen and characters that could pop up in the movie. Even I mean, it's been said, I don't know, well, I believe it's been said, and if you read the comic books, there could possibly maybe be, some Kane conquering and defeating other universe versions of the Avengers, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And now he's on to Earth 616 to do the same. Captain America: New World Order.
Yeah, I care. I mean, I care for these reasons. One, because a lot of people seem to be already shitting on it, and I'm not really sure why.
Because he's black.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I actually I don't know too much about Sam Captain America. I didn't read those comics.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm interested to see what's up.
Same. Thunderbolts. Now we know the lineup. What are you thinking about Thunderbolts here?
I lukewarm care. Like, I almost don't care, but I do, because there's some people I think there's some interesting characters there. I like Ghost.
Ghost character from she's really cool.
I don't like US Agent, but he's sort of a Homelander kind of like crazy person, good guy, but also evil person that pretends to be a good guy, and I think those characters are interesting. But I'm just sad that we couldn't get Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to that guy.
Yeah, he was old, man.
Yeah.
I think the same. But I am here for. I really think that Winter Soldier needs some on-screen redemption. I mean, his character, in my opinion, was so good in the Winter Soldier movie, and he has just gone down ever since. I think he could use some. He needs some redemption. So hopefully
Is he going to be in this movie?
Yeah, I believe he's probably going to be the leader of the Thunderbolts team, which he has led before in Marvel Comics. So we'll see. But yeah, D23 has some more on the Disney side of things. Mm-hmm. Mufasa, the Lion King. Do you care?
I care only if it's not going to be in 3D.
So you want a live action?
No, I don't want. Well, that's what I meant. Like the live action. It wasn't live action at all.
Yeah, me neither. I don't want that.
If it's going to be animated,
it's not a cartoon, I don't want to see it.
If it's animated like how we watched it back in the day, then yes, I care.
Also, Beyonce sucks. She ruined the first one.
Oh,
all right. The Little Mermaid.
Dog. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Care.
I don't even got no kids, and I'm about to watch that shit 15 times.
I care so much. I'm taking my daughter to see that movie infinite amount of times. Loki. But the new Loki has cast Ke Huy Quan, who is our guy. Who is our guy from the Goonies, our guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. I care just because he's in it.
Yeah, man, of course. I fucked with the first season of Loki heavy. I probably want to rewatch that just because I need to get refreshed. And yeah, like, he's great. I'm glad he's having a renaissance in his career. So I definitely care. There was a joke that was going around Facebook about depluralizing a movie title. So instead of Jaws, you would say Jaw. So I did Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I said this particular thing. Wait, what was it?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, so this particular thing right here, right this instant.
That is hilarious. The Echo show, Marvel.
Hell yeah, she's a super dope character. I don't know a lot about her in the comics, but I love the actress that played her.
Yeah.
The what was that?
That was a Hawkeye show.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
I care so much about these things because I love street level heroes. So I think anytime you get a show like this is always a opportunity to get in some of those like non-planetary threat villains who are cool. Some of those like assassin type characters and also street level heroes, man. I think this would be a good time to maybe we get like a new Luke Cage character, or maybe we get a new introduction to, maybe they start introducing a new Iron Fist character or something like this. This could be.
Wait, what do you mean? You don't want the old Iron Fist?
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe they'll introduce Iron Fist for the first time ever in live action, because it hasn't been done before, right?
That's right.
Yeah, they never.
There wasn't one.
Never did it ever. Yeah. Never have ever tried to ever do Iron Fist. Never. So I would be very interested in seeing Iron Fist done for the first time ever in history. But yeah, man. Then we got Daredevil Born Again. doing a new Daredevil show. Again, I care. Same thing with the whole street level thing.
Also, to an important note that this is not going to be a continuation. This is going to be a reboot.
Yeah, this is a reboot. So I'm here for it.
Yeah,
let's do it. Keep the grittiness though. Don't Disney it up
too much. Yeah.
Andor. Did you care? I know you don't care, but did the trailer do anything for you?
No, not really. So there's that somebody posted this in the Discord. I forget who, but there was an article that says that the director is going out of their way to like not fall into the fan service trap. So like that has me interested because I can't stand when everything has to like yum 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 yum.
Oh, take the Luke
Here's
Skywalker,
some Luke
buddy.
Skywalker. Oh, I'm just interested in some new stories, bro.
Word up.
I think I would be much more interested in this story if it wasn't this story, right? Like, I know I said I wanted some new stories, but like, I don't care about Cassian Andor. He was
the least interesting character in
right.
Rogue One. Like, literally the least interesting character.
I literally don't even remember his like plot at all.
Sheridan Way, Baze Malbus, Saul Guerrera, bro.
Jyn
Erso, Jin's dad.
Yeah, Darth fucking Vader.
Darth Vader. The droid.
Yeah, right.
The
crazy the bad guy, what was his name? The general.
Yeah. Just there were so many.
Bro, I literally don't remember him in the movie at all.
There were so many more interesting characters. Like if I were to want a show about any of those characters, like he would have been. I wouldn't even consider him at all. Why? Why not? Like, I think a Jyn show would have been better because just her whole story of like living in not being able to see her dad because her dad is the freaking designing weapons for what I'm saying, for the Empire, but. I think that I don't know. I was not interested in this character.
Also, I feel like I've been saying this for the entire lifetime of the SwordCast, but I'm just so. Star Wars hasn't moved from this same time period in the entire time that we've been doing this podcast. I'm just so fucking.
Well, you'll be happy about the next one then. Bad Batch season 2.
Stop making.
I don't want to see no more clones.
The clones. Stop it. Y'all been doing this shit for like 20 years, dog.
Literally. Like 20 years.
When did episode? I think.
Don't even look up. When did? Because I'll say Attack of the Clones is an actual it's an actual part of the films, but
since 2003.
It's stop it.
It's been 19 years going on 20 years.
My goodness, bro.
Stop making shows about the clones. We don't give a fuck about these clones no more.
Bro, and when
no more, bro.
The clone, they did an entire show with over 100 episodes. That Clone Wars, bro, is an entire generation of kids grew up on this cartoon
kids
took place. And now they're adults now. That's how long they've been doing.
Bro, it's some kids that think that entire Star Wars world is
just clones.
Like, do you know that there's other stuff? Like,
it's insane.
God, I fucking hate. I was tired of the clones 10 years ago, and they kept doing it for a whole nother decade.
Well, the one bright part about this, Tales of the Jedi looks incredible.
That shit looks fucking dope.
Big care.
Hell yeah.
And I think,
although the only thing that made me a little bit salty is because of how much I hate the clones. I'm annoyed by the art style because
me too, because it's the same art style.
But the stories that they're gonna tell.
Can you imagine if they did it in a non-3D animation style, almost like the Jindy or Star Wars Visions?
Yeah, like the Visions. Yeah.
I just think because I feel you. I get. When I see this, all I think about is freaking Clone Wars because it just looks like it. But yeah, care. And then last but definitely not least, Nintendo did a direct, obviously, to announce that Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is coming. The sequel to Breath of the Wild. Care, big time.
Exploding care.
That should be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, man. Moving on. So before we get into some talk about the fantasy genre, House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, 2 shows that we're enjoying right now. I still haven't watched House of the Dragon because I have made the decision, man. I'm gonna do the Thrones thing, dog. I'm gonna start watching it, and I'm gonna start watching it, and I'm gonna do it for real. I'm gonna watch it from season 1, episode 1, dog.
Fuck yeah, dog. Buckle up, my guy.
So I'm gonna be.
Get ready for some fucking betrayal, dog. Murder, goddammit.
So I'm gonna do it, man. And honestly, I'm gonna do it. The thing that kind of sold me on it was when you showed me the scene with the dragon, with the dude riding. The dragon.
My god!
And it was just, and it was just barbecuing everybody.
Yeah, bro. The man took on. We counted. It was like he took on like 19 people.
It was pretty
by
insane.
himself.
But yeah. So I'm interested in that. So why don't you talk about House of the Dragon and the latest? So we're like what? We haven't. I think we're 2 episodes down since the last time we had an episode.
Yes.
So
it's episodes 4 and 5.
How's that been?
They've both been okay. So they've been great. But this is the thing, and I want to warn you, bro. I want to warn you because I know how you are. We're in the part where there's not a lot of action, but like the seeds are being planted. Like that's the part about Game of Thrones that gets everyone's attention, right? Like there's battles, and the battles are dope. They're big, they're loud, they're crazy. But there's also like all the shit that happens in between, the plots, the schemes, the betrayals that set up the battles. Like that's some of the most interesting stuff. And the last 2 episodes of House of Fire, we're gonna do a little spoilers have set up like they've been like the scheming episodes where all the drama is starting to build. So the super duper long story.
Let's get ready for some betrayal.
Yeah, dog. There's two warring Well, so the king, who is in poor health, has a daughter who he is named as his successor, but like most situations, they don't respect women in Westeros, and no one's gonna honor his claim, or they fear that no one's gonna honor her claim. So her father, the king, took her best friend, the daughter's best friend, as a new wife, and now her father, the king, has a child who is a boy with her best friend, and the best friend's father was the hand of the king. Basically, his right hand man is trying to put the seed in her ear of your son needs to be the king because no one's gonna respect Rhaenyra's claim since she's a woman. So now they're setting up these 2 factions who's gonna actually be the successor. And there's a whole bunch of other wild ass shit that happens that it's just way too much to explain. But basically, her uncle, the king's brother, Daemon Targaryen, that's the guy who like destroyed that entire army by himself. That guy is just a fucking full on crazy person, and like may or may not be interested in I would say incest is probably the word to use there. So yeah, man.
No.
It's and bro, the best thing that I like about this show is that they have black people in it.
Yes.
And when I say they're in there, I mean these niggas are important.
Dog, like, love it.
Corliss Valerian.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
About the Rings of Power, man.
Yeah. Corliss Valerian is like the second most powerful person in the entire show in terms of like wealth and influence, and he is black, and his sons and daughters are black, and they both are Targaryens too, because Corliss Valerian's wife is a Targaryen, which means that they're dragon riders. So we got black folks on dragons. You know what I'm saying? Apes on tanks on goddamn with AKs. We got black folks on dragons with fire and power, and you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Delivering the battle.
Love it.
So yeah, man. That scene that I showed you when the dragon came in on the end, that was Laenor Valerian. That's Corliss Valerian's son, who is also obviously black. So shout out to this show. Shout out to the Valerian household. These niggas are powerful. And shout out to the Carnage. This coming, bro. The first season of House of the Dragon is like it's like a prologue. Like we're not even getting into
the stuff yet,
because it really doesn't. And this is a minor spoiler. The main two characters, the girl and her best friend, Rhaenyra Targaryen and Alicent Hightower, are the daughter of the king and the wife of the king, are like the two factions. And the real shit don't really start popping off until their kids are grown, until their kids are like in their 20s.
Right.
And that'll likely be in the next season or 2 or 3. So,
love
yeah,
it.
dog.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Yeah, bro. And Rings of Power, I mean.
So hold on. I just started episode 4. I have not finished it yet.
Okay, so you haven't finished it, so I won't spoil anything.
I've seen episodes 1, 2, and 3,
okay.
and they've all been fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, man, same as you. Like, there's black people in here. You know, Arondir is fire. That's the elf. He's already my favorite character.
Yep.
Don't even care. I don't care.
Yep.
He did a little bit of action stuff in the third episode.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, that was enough, you know. But even like Muriel, right, the queen of Numenor, she's brown too. So there's, like I said, man, there's the dwarf, you know what I'm saying? The dwarf queen, she's black. So it's just or prince. I think she's a princess because
Cassian Andor got a 9.
9.
Yeah.
9.
Right. Which one? I don't even remember which one that is. 9. There we go.
Nice. But yeah, man, Rings of Power is fire. I keep seeing people that are like, you know, complaining about it being slow, and it's just like, bro, this dude Tolkien spent the first Lord of the Rings book, the Fellowship book, is like 400 something pages, bro, of like hobbits just kind of.
Right, are you kidding me?
You know what I'm saying?
The first
like,
couple of books of Game of Thrones are like 1,600 pages each.
Eating cheese and like singing about bread and stuff.
Right.
Like, what you doing? You know, kind of doing nothing for a while here, setting up some stuff. But yeah, I think it's good, man, and I think the episode 3 was so far. It's probably my favorite just because it really like so people that like Lord of the Rings, like Numenor is like this place where it's mentioned all the time, and there's so much connection to it through with, especially with like the human characters, you know, because like characters like Aragorn and you know, like Boromir and like Isildur and like all these big human characters in the Lord of the Rings story they're all descendants of Numenor. Numenor is like the OG like kingdom of humans, you know what I'm saying, and men. But we've never seen it because it got destroyed somehow that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so all of these man characters and the places that they are from, like what are some kingdoms in like Rohan and Gondor and like and like all those places are like derived from Numenor. So like we've never seen it. So episode 3 is the first time that you actually see Numenor. And when I say it was fire, it was so incredibly like just it was so dope. And you see it's like this water city, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it was
like a city on an island.
Yeah, it was really dope to see that in episode 3. So I think just the whole Numenor thing was fire. Got young Isildur, you know, he's obviously a super important character. That he's like a teenager in this show. But obviously, you know, he's the one who famously cuts off Sauron's fingers, you know what I'm saying? But and then obviously instead of destroying the ring, he took it. So so I don't know I'm not sure if it's canon because I played, I don't remember what game it was, maybe Shadow of Mordor might have been, But I remember in one of the Lord of the Rings games, Sauron actually turns him into a Nazgul, like the ring wraith monster things. I don't know if that happens in the films though. I don't know if that's happens in the book either. But so I mean, he's gonna be, I think, probably the most important character in this show, just because of the huge role he plays in the story as we know it. So I think that I'm really excited to see what happens with his character. And again, like I said, just seeing the whole Numenorian thing and all those characters and how they connect to that place is dope. I am very I won't, no spoilers. Well, I mean, nothing's happened yet anyway, but that when we finally see this kingdom get destroyed how it's supposed to, and I assume there's going to be some type of huge battle that takes place, should be fire, I think. But yeah, episode 3 is my favorite. 4 was really good though, but I'm not going to spoil anything. Theo, I mean, that's the boy that Arendir, and so is he Theo's dad or no?
Who you
so
talking
Theo
about?
is the young kid who has the hilt, the Sauron, and his mom is the human girl, right? But she clearly her and Arendir are in love with each other.
Oh yeah.
Is that his kid or no?
I think that's what they're implying, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so yeah,
because it looks like they're implying that for sure.
I'm not sure about that. I think there's so many characters, and this takes place in such a. It's so far that anybody could be anything pretty much. Even Halbrand is like the guy who's in Numenor with
Galadriel.
Yeah, with her, and I feel like he's gonna end up being somebody bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. Anyway, visually looks amazing. Arendir's got a super dope scene in the 4th episode that I'm sure you'll love. So yeah, I've been loving it, man. But furthermore on this,
yes,
I think that fantasy is one of the hardest genres to really pin down and get like a definitive, and get like a definitive definition on what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are like sci-fi is like. Yeah. You know what sci-fi is. You know what I'm saying? It's very clearly defined, very easy to put things under the sci-fi umbrella. Like, just like other film genres, like wuxia movies. I love wuxia movies. Mm-hmm. Super easy to define them and put them in that category. You know what I mean? Like, fantasy is kind of difficult because there's so many things because like we were talking earlier, like, is Star Wars fantasy? Because it has like fantasy elements to it, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I would say I did a lot of research on this based on that question. I mean, I had some of the answers already, but I needed clarity. So is Star Wars fantasy? I would say it's science fiction first, but I would say it's sci-fi fantasy because it definitely has elements of fantasy in it, and it's very soft sci-fi. It's not like even Star Trek is kind of soft sci-fi. Hard sci-fi is like where there's no nonsense, right? Like everything has a logical ass like scientific explanation,
and that's sci-fi.
That's hard sci-fi.
Hard sci-fi.
Like
okay.
the Expanse would be considered.
So like, would you say
hard sci-fi?
So would you say that like introducing midi-chlorians was like
that's
that kind
fantasy.
Of that is it though? Because I feel like that was like the scientific
facts. Yeah,
that's kind of like the scientific way to explain the Force because
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the elements of Star Wars that make it fantasy is just like how they don't even bother to explain the science.
Yeah,
like there are elements of Star Trek or Star Wars, the storytelling, especially like in the older eras, where it's like based off of kingdoms and shit like that. Right?
And like fantasy would you say is more so, I guess, dependent upon the world that it's taking place in, because most fantasy things are like made up fantasy worlds, right?
Yeah. And so that's a difference between like high fantasy and low fantasy. Where high fantasy, like, so the whole fantasy genre really started with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is like the point where it's like, all right, now there's a genre that people can like build off of.
Do you know when when Lord of the Rings, because I remember the old cartoon.
Like when it first
so when
came
did
out?
this? So is that like the
Bruh.
70s or 60s?
No, hell, it's
before
like,
that?
bro, it's like the 20s, I think. Let's look it up.
Oh, wow. So that's interesting. Made up worlds. Why y'all mad that black people can be in these places?
It was. It's not as. So set in The Hobbit. Okay, yeah, The Hobbit was written in 1937.
Goodness gracious! When did the first Lord of the Rings book come out?
The Lord of the Rings is the sequel to The Hobbit,
Hobbit,
and that was 1954.
Goodness.
So it's not quite as old as I thought, but it is.
Bro, what you
much
mean?
older.
You just said 1954.
It's older than like the cartoons and all of that.
Yeah, that's wild.
The Lord of the Rings, since it takes place in like a otherworldly place, like not a real place, is considered high fantasy.
And it just trips me out that people, because I like, you know, when you watch if you watch a Viking show, right? Like you don't really expect to see black people because this is like,
right,
you know, Scandinavian, like just the place in the world that it takes place. These are like kind of historical places and things. Like even when you watch like a old wuxia movie that takes place in like ancient China, like you're not really expecting to see, you know, black people. But that's why I don't understand why people get so mad, because these are made up places. Like why can't there be black elves in Rivendell? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why can't why can't there be black people in these fake places that have no historical context
because
attached to them?
It's based on the history of Europe and England or whatever. Black people live in England now, so fuck off.
Goodness, man, so stupid.
So you've got low fantasy, which is like still fantasy elements, but like the world that it takes place is more based in reality. Some people would consider Harry Potter to be low fantasy because it takes place on Earth, like in Europe, in Scotland, I think is where Hogwarts is supposed to be. But they pass into like another dimension or some weird shit like that. Then you've got epic fantasy, which is very similar to high fantasy, but it's like where the story is told over the course of like entire kingdoms and generations and shit like that. Yeah. And then there's dark fantasy, which I find that I like the best, which is also another definition for low fantasy is if they de-emphasize the magic and other humanly and like otherworldly stuff and focus more on like human intelligence, like battles and cunning and shit like that. So essentially, that's what Game of Thrones, or technically the name of Game of Thrones, is only the first book. If you're not into the show, or if you're only into the show, you would think the entire series is called Game of Thrones. That's only the first book. Okay. The series is called A Song of Ice and Fire. That's the whole thing. The whole thing. All right. And so I find that I like that the most. Stuff like The Witcher, Game of Thrones, where it is fantasy, but it's like the magic part is like it's not as emphasized. And then you've got stuff like Elder Scrolls, which is that's super high fantasy. Elder Scrolls is like the child of Lord of the Rings. Like it's like it gave birth to it. It's like almost all of the elements are just slightly tweaked. It's not a ripoff, but it's very, very similar.
This is some nerdy stuff we're getting into right now.
Yeah.
Hey,
sure.
well, actually,
and I'm not even a big fantasy fan like that. I do like dark fantasy. I discovered that recently.
Just hates magic, guys. That's all.
I just have a hard time with it. Have a hard time with magic, bro.
It's just a magic hater. Man. But yeah, man.
Hey, I'm just gonna fucking wave a magic wand and fuck you. You're done. Like,
oh man.
What do you mean?
Hey, what do you mean?
What do you mean I'm dead? I got a sword and I'm sharp.
Like, I've been training for my whole life.
Right? Nah, nope.
No, I was kind of born in a family that's.
Hey, Luke Skywalker, like a magic born into the magic force wield powers, superpowers.
Oh man, but all right, man. So staying on this, right? We've been talking about some fantasy stuff. We're enjoying some fantasy things. Let's go, man. Including everything is welcome. Movies, TV shows. You know, I feel smarter when I say film instead of movie.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
And put like one of those little hats
we
on.
need a fancy pants.
We do like
different,
a sound.
Hey,
different
well,
from this.
actually,
Yours like a fancy, right?
Something like that. We gotta find one.
Yeah.
If y'all help people, homies in the Discord, if y'all know a funny sound bites that implies uppityness,
like pretentiousness.
Yeah, we need that. We need that ASAP. But movies, video games, whatever.
If anything, when we start talking our elitist shit, from music, hip hop, like all of it, we are all elitist about something.
Oh, I am definitely an elitist wrestling fan. Like that's I frown upon not good wrestling.
Yeah,
so
no, I'm with you.
But let's go, man. Top 5 favorite fantasy characters ever. Let's go. All right. What you got?
I'm going to do a couple of honorable mentions here. I tried my best to not make them all Game of Thrones characters. I only partly succeeded. But
Harry Potter.
Yeah, no, Doug.
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Is there too much magic in Harry Potter? It's only magic.
Turns out that's what the whole thing is about. Look, I'll fight fair since we're including sci-fi fantasy as a part of the genre. I had to shout out some of my favorite Star Wars characters. You already know. I will throw Luke Skywalker a bone and have him, because he's the most fantasy of all the characters. I'll throw him the bone. He represents sci-fi fantasy. Princess Leia. I mean, her name is Princess Leia. I mean, come on. Like, there's clearly fantasy inspiration there. And so also from Game of Thrones, some of my favorite swordsmen: Arthur Dayne, Jaime Lannister, Brienne of Tarth, just because they're dog-ass fighters. Oberyn, the Sand Snake.
Brienne of Tarth. I love that name.
Yo, she's a beast. She's played by
such a sweet name.
She's played by Gwendolyn. What's her name? The person who played Captain Phasma. Gwendolyn Christie. I think. And her whole shtick is she was born. She's a noble woman. She was born into a rich family, a noble family, and wanted to get married off. Her dad wanted her to get married off into into another lordship to become the lady of some domain. But she was tall. She was super tall. She was like 6'3", and like everybody thought she was super ugly. So they called her Brienne the Beautiful, just out of spite.
Tarth.
And she was like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't want to marry. I'd rather scrap. So
I'd rather scrap.
She trained with her father and trained with all the boys in her castle, and eventually became the coldest one and beat the brakes off of like some of the best warriors in the entire 7 Kingdoms.
Boom.
She's a beast.
That's fire.
Also, Daemon Targaryen, bro, from the new show House of Fire. House of the Dragon. Blood and Fire is the name of the book. Yeah, man, Daemon Targaryen, I mean, 1 versus 20, an entire army by himself, and then wins single combat against the main boss and comes out of the cave dragging his upper torso.
I just looked up Brienne of Tarth, and she looks like a beast.
Yeah, no, she's a fucking ass kicker.
How tall is she?
She's like 6'3".
I could just tell from by these pictures.
Yeah, and
she looks
6'3" and jacked, and also like skilled. Yeah, she a beast. 6'3", jacked, and like a dog ass swordsman, like legit tech. Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, she's like Kevin Durant because she's big, but also got incredible skills as well.
I like it.
All right, so let's jump into the top 5. I know I'm not the biggest magic user, but I'm about to start my top 5
with some magic,
with the most magic nigga ever.
Oh man,
Gandalf.
Let's
look, man, I like Gandalf. I like him because he reminds. I like that scene when he starts speaking the black speak, bro. That shit is hilarious, bro.
Hey, Gandalf he like a black grandpa,
bro. He gets like kind of annoyed with the hobbits. Yeah. Like, man, what y'all doing? He was. I forget what exactly the circumstance was, but somebody said something crazy to him. And he was like, "Oh, word!" And he started speaking that black tongue. Like, boy.
Gandalf definitely got Southern black grandpa.
And another reason why I like him is because he reminds me, like if my dad was like a old white wizard, he would be Gandalf.
I kind of like the Gandalf. When he is revealed as the White Wizard, that's like one of the sweetest, one of the sweetest moments in all of Lord of the Rings.
Yep. So shout out to Gandalf the Gray and Gandalf the White. Number 4.
How did we not do a "You Shall Not Pass"?
All right. Yeah.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, bro. He put the lockdown defense on.
Dog, he did.
Got to a defensive
He
stance.
slapped the floor.
Get him chopping, dog. Hey. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into some Game of Thrones here. Not a new character to me, but new character to the world. Corliss Valerian, man, the black guy, the sea snake. The black guy with the dreads.
Corliss Valerian. That is the coolest name also.
And he is cool as shit, bro. He represents the House Valerian, which is the only other house in Westeros from old Valyria. This will all make sense to you once you start watching
this
the show.
dude about to make me just watch House of the Dragon.
No, he's cool. He looks cool as hell.
Bruh.
And he is like the richest guy that's not the king.
He got the white dreads.
That's the white, not the silver locks, the white locks. That's sort of that's one of the ways that they kind of got around the race, the dark skin piece is because in the books they make a really big deal out of Valerian traits. Valerian when I say Valerian, that's a different thing than Valyria. So Valyria is an old country that's now extinct. Valerian is his last name.
So can I ask you this real quick?
Yeah.
Are all Valerians black?
No. All of the Valerians are black in the show, but it happens to be that those Valerians are from Valyria, and those are just two different words that sound similar. But right, and the Targaryens are also from Valyria. And Valyria, the Valyrian traits, if you like in the book, it's like really long white hair and violet eyes, like purple eyes.
So that's how they.
So they don't mention skin color. I mean, they do, but I think in the show they're like the thing that makes you of old Valyria, having Valyrian blood, is if you have that white hair and those purple eyes.
Got it.
But they don't do the purple eyes in the show. It's mostly just the hair. So you can be dark skinned, but if you still have the white hair, that shows that you have Valyrian blood.
He's black. He can't be Valerian.
Right. So yeah, he is the sea snake. He's the greatest sailor in the history of Westeros, and got like major funds. He got feats and he got bread.
He got feats and he got bread.
Yeah, rich black man. Imagine T'Challa, but in fucking Game of Thrones.
And long locks.
Yeah. And he's just, there's one scene, bro. This is one of the best gifs, best memes ever. In the first episode, where he's a part of the King's Small Council, so basically like his group of trusted advisors, and they were in a meeting, and there was some shit being discussed that was like serious, and everybody was getting drunk, and the Rhaenys, the king's daughter, or Rhaenyra, was the cupbearer, so she was giving wine to everyone, and she came over to Corliss, and he covered his glass because he didn't want none. And the meme was, that's how you know Corliss is black, because he knows better to get drunk around white folks. So yeah, Corliss Valerian, that will be my number 4 because he's fucking cool.
Boom.
And his family is cool. Number 3, Arya Stark.
Hey.
She's a
girl.
Literal, yeah, she's a girl. Very kind of similar story to Brienne of Tarth. Like, just always wanted to be a fighter, did not care about getting married. Like, I just want to fight. I want to scrap. I want to learn how to be a knight. So her father found her a water dance instructor who was basically a sword master, taught her some sword tech, and then all hell breaks loose. And she spends most of the entire show on the run and eventually ends up Well, I'm not even gonna ruin it for you if you're gonna watch it, but she ends up going and learning some shit, and comes back as one of the biggest badasses in the whole show. She is a fucking beast.
Boom.
Arya Stark. Number 2. I gotta do it, man. Link.
Hey, shit.
All right. Hey, man, the hero of time, Link, been with us since way before both of us were born.
Facts.
And continues to bang out, probably the most. Would Zelda be the most famous fantasy game?
Oh, it has to be
Zelda,
right? Zelda,
and
maybe Warcraft, World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, that I'd be forgetting. Just because I don't play it doesn't mean it's not popular. I don't play that shit. A lot of people play it. Either that or like Elder Scrolls. Did you ever get into Elder Scrolls?
I did not.
It's dope. I think you would have liked it.
I think around the time Elder Scrolls was really coming out, I was like just messing with them Fable games. Remember Fable?
Yeah.
Fable was fire.
Fable was fire. I think Elder Scrolls is more fire than
I'm gonna have to check it out.
There should be a new one coming out hopefully in the next year or two, hopefully. But yeah, shout out to Link. We've talked about him enough.
Shit.
And then number 1, man, it's got to be done, bro. Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. I
like him even more now. Now that I'm watching the series again.
And you like him? He's not in this, is he?
He's not in the new series. He's the main character of the first series. But they are going to make a sequel series with him in it.
Okay.
Yeah, man, he's the main character. He's the main character for a reason. He's cool. He's just a badass, bro. Like him. I will say his older brother Robb Stark is the one dude that was more of a badass than him, but he tripped and fell into some pussy, bro, and it was costly. It was costly, bro.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, man, we all make mistakes. But this one literally got him killed. And boy, when I tell you wait till you see how that shit turns out.
Boy.
But Robb Stark was cold. So the Stark children all have wolves. That you see that in the very first episode. They find some wolves in the forest.
That sounds
and
amazing.
in the book there's actually they are like wargs. They all have the ability to like connect psychically with their wolves. Okay. And Robb he like has his wolf in battle and nigga Robb and his wolf ain't nothing to be fucked with. And also Jon and his wolf Ghost are also nothing to be fucked with. So yeah, I've talked about Jon Snow a lot. Jon Snow number 1.
Nice.
My top 5. What do you got?
Jon Snow. All right, man. Let's go. Top 5 favorite fantasy characters. I'm not counting Star Wars characters because I wanted my list to be a little different.
Yeah.
So I'm not counting Star Wars characters. A couple honorable mentions real quick. Shout out to Gandalf, man.
Gandalf! No!
Shout out to Gandalf. Just the quintessential wizard character. Shout out to Link. I love Link too, man. That's my guy.
Shit!
But yeah, man, let's go. Let's knock it out. Coming in at number 5 already. And I think that once I see more of his character, you know what I mean, this will change. But I'm going to go with Arondir from Rings of Power. I love the elves. He's black elf. He's already shown a lot of skill in the show already in the first 4 episodes. That, like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it. He's got a really dope moment at the end of the 4th one. And you know he's finding out some things. You know, after he got captured by the orcs and you know got to have a conversation with what appears to be you know, the big bad of this season, Adar, I think that's his name, the guy with the you haven't seen it. Did you see his face yet?
No, but I mean I know it's Sauron.
I don't know though. I don't think he is Sauron.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's a servant of Sauron. I think he's like Sauron's guy.
Okay.
But I don't think he
was wearing a glove though, wasn't he?
He was, yeah,
okay.
But I still don't think he's gonna be Sauron though.
Okay.
But we'll see. But yeah, shout out to Arondir, already top 5. Love him. And like I said, he will probably move up the more of this show that we see. Black Black elf. Black. All right. Coming in at number 4, going with my other favorite elf from Lord of the Rings, Legolas, man. Let's go. Legolas is such a dope character. He's was one of my favorites in the original trilogy, man. He's even dope in the Hobbit movies too. He's in those as well. Just in the first Lord of the Rings movie, I thought that he's there's the whole beef between the race of humans and the elves, right?
Yep.
But he's always kind of been just action,
I'm here
I don't
for
really
the fucking
care.
battle,
You know what I
bro.
mean? Like he's a dope character, level-headed character. And you have my bow. It's just a good character, man.
Are you surprised that Orlando Bloom didn't become a bigger star?
Yes. What happened to him?
I don't know. I feel like after Pirates,
To
it
Pirates of
was
the Caribbean,
kind of yeah, he went home, I guess.
I mean, maybe he was just like, I'm good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I am. That's a good.
he looked like he was up next to be like
He really
the next
did.
big
Big
star.
time action star. But yeah, I'm gonna go Legolas number 4. Dope. Just one of my favorite characters. Obviously, awesome. Number 3. The only thing that I love more than in fantasy, other than swordsmen and elves, is little cute fantasy creatures, dog. And you got a little cute fantasy creature like Ori from Ori and the Blind Forest, or Ori and the Will of the Wisps, but also a cute little powerful ball of just such, oh man, I love Ori, man. You guys already know how much I love the Ori game. So Ori coming in number 3. That's my guy, man. Just it's a little cute. I told you, man, the Ori game's just like it's like a Ghibli, you know what I'm saying, movie. But he's dope, man. Super powerful. Lots of different attacks and weapons, and he's so cool, man. Such a cool character. So I'm going with Ori at number 3. Coming number 2, Conan the Barbarian, dog.
Hey.
I love Conan. The 80s Conan, even the comic books, Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, this is my favorite Arnold movie. Look, Conan, the first one, I think we sleep on this movie as like a really good early version of like a diverse fantasy movie. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
there was some,
James Earl Jones plays Tulsa Doom, who's like the villain, and he's like awesome as like a weird fantasy villain. And he's got like long permed hair, long straight hair, and it's James Earl Jones. And then you got like a strong female character in that movie, and then there's like a Asian wizard, and then there, you know what I'm saying, like there's a lot of diversity in that first Conan movie, man. Like I think we really sleep on it. And Arnold is awesome in those movies as well. I love some senseless power and strength, big giant sword, fantasy type characters. So shout out to Arnold. And coming in at number 1, my favorite fantasy character of all time. From you always say that the best trilogy is Planet of the Apes. I think the best trilogy is Lord of the Rings, dog.
Oh,
and
shit.
My number 1 favorite fantasy character is Aragorn
Really?
from Lord of the Rings. Yes, I love Aragorn, man.
I would have thought Legolas would have been higher on your list.
Sword.
Oh yeah,
Kinda.
Sword as opposed to bow and arrow.
Sword. Yeah. And then like his story. I love a guy who's got all the. I love a guy who's got all the rights to be like. This is a guy who was like royalty, but straight up didn't care and was kind of playing and was kind of mean. You know what I mean? Like,
so you've heard me talk a lot about Game of Thrones. Do you know like the future of Jon Snow? Yes or no?
Yeah, you told me already
that he's the secret heir.
Yeah, that's what Aragorn is.
Very
right?
very similar.
That's
arc.
fire. Because
it's not. The only difference is that everybody knows in Lord of the Rings. Like most people know about him, right? But in Game of Thrones, literally nobody knows.
Right. And
one
I've always
person knows,
been,
but whatever.
And I've always been here for the character like that kind of gets taken in. Like he's because he was raised in Rivendell by
the elves.
By the elves,
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Elrond raised them, and he you know, he was kind of the last. He's like kind of the last of that royal bloodline. Because
they're all long lived, right?
Well, that royal bloodline died out, I think, 1,000 years before the Fellowship of the Ring movie. So he's like the last one. And what happens is, all the people, the Numenorian like descendants and everything, they're like real spread out, and they're kind of just he's like a ranger, and they kind of, because Sauron hunts down all of them and kills them all. You know what I'm saying? So they can't be out in the open. So they're like rangers, and they fight kind of and they fight kind of in disguise, so nobody knows who they really are.
Yeah.
And then these kingdoms like Gondor and Rohan, they kind of like stewards and like politicians kind of fill in until a rightful heir comes in and claims the throne. And obviously he's the guy who does it, and we see that in Return of the King. But man, he's just a really dope character, man. Sword master. I told you, he's definitely got some of the best fight scenes in all the Lord of the Rings. And like I said, man, I love a guy who's just kind of undercover royalty, but here to do the dirty work. You know what I mean? Before, and he honestly, he was a little upset with the men, so like he was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just being with the elves and everything. So
yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Aragorn, man. So that's my top 5 favorite fantasy characters, man. I haven't watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy in a long time. Maybe I will go back and revisit them soon. But number 5, Arondir from Rings of Power. Number 4, Legolas. Number 3, Ori from the Ori games. Number 2, Conan the Barbarian. Number 1, Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. That's my guy. Yeah, man. Let us know y'all favorite fantasy characters. Tune in next week. We're gonna do a definitive top 10. I know what it is. I'm not about to say it right now. Okay. Actually, I will. We're gonna do Disney movies. Finally, top 10 favorite Disney movies. Keep it animated though. We're only doing animated Disney movies, so don't be coming in here with no.
Wait. Does 3D count as animated?
Yeah, we'll count the and we'll let Pixar be in there too. So Disney / Pixar animated movies. But don't be coming in here with like Mary Poppins or something. Is that animated?
Yep.
Or that's Disney though, right? It's live action, but it's Disney, I think.
Is it Disney?
It could be. I don't know.
Oh no, I think it is. Yeah,
Disney. So none of that. But yeah, man. All right. See y'all. Peace.